Acclamators are definitely really good sport ships, but there you go. There's that ship Killer AA we were talking about. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today I'm excited to cover a 3v3, which my friend Johndon sent to me. So here on the right hand side, you're going to see Johndon, Com3, and Knight Fang fighting on the blue 4. And on the red 4, we have T3K, Smelly Pickle, and Massacre. Let's quickly go over all the divisions being used. We have 21st Nova Legion, Coruscant Guard, and 41st Elite Legion Phase 2. On the right hand side, so this is still a work in progress First Order, but it's a very powerful faction, and you guys are going to see that today. We also have the Trade Federation Naval Landing Force, and as well as the Foundry Reclamation Legion, which I am a big fan of. They're fighting on the Urban Frontlines map. If any of you guys are new to this game, you're seeing these defenses that are put up, like the turbo laser towers and the ion cannons. These are meant to balance out the game, so people can't just go and spawn camp you as soon as you spawn your units. So before I get too far in the video, thank you guys for coming out and spending your personal time watching our videos. We do work hard to put this out. You guys can support us. I have a link dropped below for a clothing brand that we partner with. If you want to check out some of their cool gear, you can do so there. As always, you guys liking, engaging, and subscribing is huge for this channel, and we do appreciate it. Here you go, the Tri-fighter is going to start coming in, and probably soon start to pick off the transports coming in here from Com3. This is Mr. Pickle's Tri-fighters here. He's got at least 5 or 6 of them. So Com3 is coming in with the Coruscant Guard squad being carried by the patrol gunship, but it's going to be very, very vulnerable here very soon. And there you go, it goes down. You guys are going to see these transports here from the First Order. I think they do look really cool. And they can fire. There's a Tri-droids. They'll drop in a logi box here in the center, because this is going to be a huge area in which there's going to be a lot of fighting over. So Com3 already pushed a Juggernaut right here in the middle. You're going to see how devastating this Juggernaut is to units. It can fire really good. The only warning that I'm going to give is that when this thing dies, it can kill your own units. So, I mean, it basically is like a massive atomic explosion that occurs. There you go. Little transport here getting attacked from the Sith Empire. You actually see all the troops get annihilated here as soon as they come out. So yeah, the Juggernaut's very intense, and at good range, it can absolutely eat through most infantry. It's pretty powerful. So there you go, you see Com3 coming in here with a bunch of Coruscant Guard AT rifles. There's an ARC 170 coming in. There you go, the ARC 170 got shot down. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. So here you have the Diamond class from Mr. Pickle here. Diamond class, kind of see some of the things that it has. 10K for ground targets. It could be a really good sport ship. I mean, if you get it just kind of on the border here where you're safe from AA, and you can help kind of do anti-infantry operations, it could be really good. Here you go, Imperial Shock going against the Coruscant Guard. Should be able to get rid of those. There you go. So a lot going on here between T3K and Com3, fighting really, really hard over Charlie. So let's take a quick look. Strategically speaking here, this middle area is going to be very important. I think that whoever holds the center is likely to win. And if you're not proactive about this too, a lot of times you kind of get like a face-off between both forces. But I would say, you know, one thing that maybe Johndon could have done is pushed harder to get closer to here, so you have a shorter range here, and you're able to assault this command point here, Bravo, quicker, because you don't really get any advantage of just kind of staring at each other all game. You need to be proactive. Here you go. Arc 170s coming in from Com 3. Already getting hit. There you go. One goes down. Let's see if the other one goes down too. I'm not sure if it hit anything. So they do have a proton bomb. And they can do ground targets. So, but I think he was trying to take out one of the Tri-fighters here in the distance. May have damaged one, but not sure if that was worth it. But I can tell you guys, one important thing about this mod is you definitely want to get out cheap fighters. Especially if they can have, you know, torpedoes that can hit, you know, bigger ships like this. Having those out in a constant presence is very important, because if somebody pops out a ship and you don't have really good, you know, ship killer AA, which some factions don't have that, you're going to get pretty much just wiped out. So you got to be very careful with that. Here you go, Night Fang. These are, if you haven't played WARNO before, these are attributes here. You can kind of read through them to give you different buffs. But this unit is probably good close range, and it can actually fire at some armor at 2,000 meters. Not super strong, but it does have 15 missiles, which is nice. So you see Night Fang kind of encroaching here on Mr. Pickle. He also has two TX-242s here, kind of holding ground. And you also see Night Fang has a bunch of 41st Phase 2 clones and strategic buildings here. He has kind of a mixture here of units to be able to defend fairly well. The only thing I'd say is when you put a bunch of units like this in one building and somebody does good recon, that's a very juicy target. So we're now in the middle. Com 3 and T3K are going at it. So you're seeing Massacre here building up quite a lot of troops here. And he's got troops to have really good range for anti-armor. You know, so not too much going on, just kind of Massacre and Johndon are kind of just looking at each other here. I'm assuming Johndon is saving up for some kind of a ship play here, because I'm not seeing a lot of units. Whereas Massacre seems to be building a really nice front line here. And I'm sure he's going to try to take this zone here soon. Here you go, First Order coming in here with some transports and some cheap infantry here. Yeah, gotta love that. How they opens up like that. Yeah, unfortunately the animation would be cooler if they actually came out from the front like that, but that's just probably WARNO limitations there. Yeah, one thing that people talk about that's a little bit funky with WARNO is the animations. You know, items not colliding with each other. So, for example, like if two fighters run into each other or two massive ships, you're not really, there's no collision. And also some of the unloading and loading is a little funky. So if you were able to fix that, that would be very cool. And believe it or not, this ATTFA can shoot on infantry, which is terrifying. It's not super effective, but it can definitely do some damage. So you see a firefight going on right now between Coruscant First Guard that already got routed and some B1 battle droids from Mr. Pickle. This zone is controlled by Com 3. There's not really much here. Like you guys can see, this area here was pretty much wiped out. There's only a few buildings to take to hold here, which I'm surprised no one's pushing up to put stuff in here. So Johndon has some forces here in the woods. 21st clone unit. It's pretty good. Pretty strong. I would have definitely pushed into this forest here and start harassing Massacre on the left flank. There definitely needs to be some more encounters here instead of just holding defensive areas. He's pushing up right now. So the 41st is pushing up right now on Mr. Pickle. These guys do look really cool and probably, you know, they have great camo to fight in the forest. And they do have the Mountaineer trait, which is pretty cool. So they definitely have advantages for fighting in the forest. This is the right move by Nightfang, pushing them through the wooded areas here. So you're kind of seeing the first... he's probably going for this building here, I'm assuming. Yep. And then pushing these guys up probably to here. So that's going good. So you guys are about to see some crazy gameplay coming from T3K. Pushing up these ATM6s, which you guys can see the stats there. They are really, really strong. Yes, you can take these out. It does take a lot of resources to take them out. And if this, you know, type of gameplay goes unchecked, I mean, people can steamroll you with these alone, so these are very, very tanky and strong units. You guys can see the stats there. They have, you know, they're very good against infantry, armor, a lot of stuff. So we'll see how Comp 3 tries to take him out. You know, if you have a lot of infantry with anti-tank capabilities, you could definitely slowly wear these down. If you have fighters, you know, that can hit these things, that would be beneficial. The LAATs can definitely be a good choice as a counter, but you just need to make sure you keep them out of range of infantry AA and other anti-air things like the Sky Thunder. Big unloading operation here by T3K. Dropped off a bunch of first order occupiers. Basic infantry, but you still need them. They're cheap. Very cheap, 5 points. And the transports themselves are only 55. So for just 60 points, he dropped off a ton of infantry, which can be just a great sponge for, you know, pushing forward on the enemy. So there's going to be a lot going on here in the middle and the left flank. And the reason being is just because they're very important zones. So tactically speaking, you definitely want to not just sit around and let the enemy have all the advantage there. So you're seeing some artillery. This is coming from the RM20's 50mm. I don't really think this is doing much. I mean, I don't think this is effective. You're better off targeting infantry that's pushing forward with that and find a better counter to these ATM6 walkers. And he also has the ATSTs right here. T3K pushed 2 of these up, and they're doing quite a bit of damage here. Man, these things look terrifying in the background there. So yeah, you can see the effect of these ATSTs wearing down Comp 3's infantry. And overall, you can kind of see here the ATM6 hasn't taken that much damage, and they're going to start eating away on the infantry here. And I think they could have... So right now, this is getting hit by the ion cannon, so it's unresponsive. There goes a Juggernaut there in the distance. So I was talking about that earlier. So it looks like Night Fang pushed it up, but unfortunately it blew up. And as you guys can see, it's a pretty massive explosion, and it can cause friendly fire, so you need to be very, very careful. But here he's pushing up 41st Phase 2 clones. Pretty big unit, pretty strong. 25. So it should do good amount of damage. Should get rid of the B1 battle droids here. But they are being supported by the armored assault tank from Mr. Pickle here. Can't really see it. But these are the classic armored assault tanks you see in the movies. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of them. So actually, kind of surprising there, but these assault tanks from Mr. Pickle were actually able to counter the push from Night Fang and eliminated the infantry here. But here's some LAATs. Hopefully we'll be able to target the tanks there, but they are getting hit pretty hard right now with B1 battle droids that have multi-purpose missiles. It's gonna get taken out probably very soon. There you go. Goes down. Sad day. But you do need to be careful, just like with using helicopters in WARNO. If they have good AA, gotta watch out for that. So it looks like Night Fang's regrouping here. Probably need to resupply some things to get stronger and push back on Mr. Pickle's zone here in Echo. Right now, T3K has a very strong push. He's actually pushing out, capturing important buildings so that he has a buffer zone here between this middle zone, which is very, very important. So Charlie looks like it's falling to the First Order. And I think it's really thanks to this and just T3K's play of just cheap infantry that he just pushed en masse. Really allowed to overcome that. But here you go. Com3 pushing up his own infantry here. A little bit more expensive, but 30 points in total just for the transport and the Coruscant Guard AT. Getting hit hard right now with the infantry though. And this is coming from the Sith Empire artillery here, the Imperial crawl tank. This thing can actually do a lot of damage. You need to be careful about these. And this is Massacre. He has about 3 of them lined up here. But this AT right here from T3K is definitely going to go soon. It's very damaged. He's starting to retreat it here. So good play by T3K, how he's retreating, you know, damaged infantry. And I feel like not enough people do this, where once their infantry gets damaged, they just keep pushing them until they die. But if you can save them, heal them up, and then push again, that's definitely a much better way to play. So here you go. He's pushing up these guys. So First Order occupiers being pushed up by T3K here. I would say, here you go. Y-Wing taking good shots and taking out the Walker here. So that's some good play there. Especially when they get low on health and you come in late like that. You know, probably should have seen Mr. Pickle try to counter that with his fighters. He definitely could have. And look at this amazing gameplay coming from Johndon. He's pushing up the Acclamators here. I had a feeling he was waiting to push something out like this. But you guys are going to see some really cool stuff here. Acclamators are definitely really good support ships. But there you go. There's that ship killer AA we were talking about. So I'm probably gonna botch the name, but the Abyssal Needle, there you go, taking shots at the Acclamator here. It's very strong, and it's going to take out the Acclamator fairly quickly here. One more shot, it's gonna go down. And it reloads fairly quickly, there you go. And there's the massive explosion, 2 nukes going off here. And it might have damaged this infantry here. I'm not sure if it's close enough, or even these B1 battle droids here could have been damaged by the explosion. You have Mr. Pickle pushing up here on Com 3 with his B1 battle droids. These are pretty strong as well with 30 strength, which is, I think it's some of the strongest units you can have as far as strength wise. Just a lot of units in here. Obviously you can counter that with your own, and it depends on the weaponry as well. It's not just about the size of your units, what they got, but having these Z6 rotary blasters and just, you know, medium to light blasters, combine that plus attributes, these command units can be very, very good for pushing on enemy infantry. So fortunately, we're not really seeing any type of push from Johndon on here, which is a shame, because I feel like because the enemy doesn't have anything out here or even here, you know, he'd be able to fairly easily come in here and start, you know, giving them problems, which really needs to happen because the enemy does have a +2, and it's 678 to 214 right now. There goes another Juggernaut. Yeah, these things are like a double-edged sword. If you're close to your own infantry, they're going to go off and damage yourself here. So the Juggernaut's going to get taken out very soon here, but it is doing a lot of damage. There you go. Just blew up there. You can use it kind of like a kamikaze unit, though. Push it right on all the infantry. So a lot going on here. T3K pushing up another AT right here. The AT walkers pushing hard on knifing. So it looks like the enemy also using the diamond class here too for the first time. It is getting hit very, very hard by AA. There you go. So the blue beam right there. And they're already evacing it, and there you go. The diamond class goes down with a massive explosion there. So Massacre is pushing up a bunch of Imperial Guard transports with Imperial assault units. So about, I would say, 120 points each. And I do think these look really cool. If I had to give kind of an overview here, I think the main advantage that Red 4 had over Blue 4 is teamwork. Because here you're seeing Massacre, T3K, and Mr. Pickle going up against basically Com 3. Like, yes, I think Johndon has some units in here, but really not enough to help Com 3. He has some infantry, but I'm not sure it really matches the amount that the enemies poured in here. And it's one of those things you see in these type of matches. It happens a lot. If you don't play with people enough, there's just not good teamwork, and sometimes it's very one-sided. It's not necessarily that you're a bad player or anything like that. It's just the fact that when you get 3v1, it's very, very difficult to win. But here you go. Mr. Pickle with the Tri-droids coming in here. Gonna get taken out here very soon. There you go. So you can kind of see a little graveyard here of these Tri-droids being stopped by Night Fang. Look at these LAATC transports here in the background. Looks pretty cool. And he has the ATHE. You don't see these very often. Kind of looks like a little stink bug to me. But these things can be pretty gnarly when going up against pretty much anything. Man, this is cool. I think one of my favorite things about Star Wars is hearing that noise that these LAATCs make and all the other variants. It's a very cool sound. So Night Fane's holding up pretty good here, and he has tried to take this zone multiple times, but now because the enemy recaptured it, they have a +6, so they're definitely going to speed up their ability to win here. Still not much going on here at all, which has allowed, I think, Massacre to relocate resources and help push against Com. But you do see Johndon here, and here you go. Johndon's going to push with these LAATR, which are very good. And he's taking out infantry with that. Kind of see the things that they have. These are recon units. They have pretty good thermal output and suppression. Put these together, they can do quite a bit of damage against infantry. You're seeing that right now. Imperial Shock getting erased by Johndon, but hopefully he won't overextend. These are, I don't think they're likely to do too much damage to the AT walkers. But here you go. Here's the transports coming in here from Massacre. They're going to try to start firing on, yep, the recon, and they took it out. So these aren't super strong, but put them in force. I mean, look at that. Johnny coming in with more LAAT gunships. There's a lot of gunship fighting going on here. It's pretty cool. Some good counters for sure. Yeah, these things are nasty. They also have the mass driver missiles, and they have about 120 of them. So good anti-armor play. Also, this is what I meant to mention earlier. These would be great against the AT walkers. And I think you're seeing that right now, where they're kind of retreating. Here you go, Johndon's pushing these up a little bit. Yeah, look at that fire rate. It's kind of insane. One goes down. I do like the new effects that WARNO has put in. I can tell you right now, that was likely, yep, the Sky Sunderer right here. Getting hit, but these things are great. Anti-air. Very accurate. And I love the sound that they make, which sounds kind of a little goofy, but you're going to hear it right now. There it is. There goes the gunship. There goes another one. Just look how devastating that AAA is from the Sith Empire. So I do want to say quickly, thank you guys for coming out. Do appreciate it. I also wanted to say, you know, this mod is made by one guy, Biometric Nuke. He would absolutely appreciate your guys' help. He does have Patreon and other ways you can support him. I will link the official Discord in the description. But you guys can kind of see overall, not enough action here. A lot of action in the middle, which kind of caused, you know, the Red 4 to win. Also 3v1ing primarily Com 3 against T3K Massacre and Mr. Pickle. They did have a desync. I'm not sure if that's accurate. I'd have to ask them. But Night Fang held his own pretty good here on the right flank. He was pretty aggressive, held this zone well, kept pushing constantly. It was just like all game. It was back and forth. There you go. Seeing some intense fighting right now. See the First Order pushing here. The Minotaur. The ATHST. Fairly strong. So a lot going on against T3K's infantry, but there you go. There's that explosion I was talking about. Just damaged the ATHST. Johndon has 3 Acclamators out. But again, that AA is just devastating. Here you go. He's doing some damage here. Some seed action going on from Com 3. They do have some fighters out as well. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed the replay. I think this was a pretty good showcase of some good teamwork on Red 4. Unfortunately, not good enough on Blue 4. But overall, it was still fairly solid play by everybody. You know, honestly, most of the time, that we play matches. It's not anything super serious, just people having fun. And this mod can be very punishing because if you don't understand how to counter a unit, you're just going to lose, plain and simple. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If any of you guys want to send your replays to me, you can do so. I'll have my Discord channel linked below. And as always, we appreciate you guys' support. Now, if you guys got anything out of this, subscribing, liking, and commenting is huge for this channel, and it helps us grow, and we would appreciate it. All right, you guys have a good weekend, and take care.